All right, so unfreezing your account, tackling a fraudulent chargeback head on. And this is for you guys who are using PayPal or Stripe. I figured I'd do this for you. I just get a lot of questions about this, such as this one. Got a fraudulent chargeback for $100. They want me to fight it to get my account unfrozen. If you get the time, what's the best course of action? Well, before I get into that, we have to understand why these chargebacks get out of hand to where a company has to step in, freeze accounts, and then ask for more information. The best source of action is to make sure we never get to that point. So let's dig in. Avoid the dreaded chargeback. Now, there are tons of videos I made on spotting someone who is not good to deal with on Paxful. First, you must make sure the person doesn't have any of these red flags. Make sure you guys go back, watch the videos. I believe I have them laid out in a playlist already. Those are good to look at. But let's get into it. Pretty much summing up all of those videos right here. Number one, negative feedback related to the type of trade you are doing. As I've said before, if you are doing an Amazon trade with the person you are trading with, go and check their file. Make sure they have no negative feedback on an Amazon card because that is the trade you are doing. If you are doing an Amazon trade or a Walmart trade and you go and check and all they have is negative feedback possibly on another sort of trade that's not related to you, then it's good to go. But, however, if you do go and you see this person might have 3 or 4 or 5 negative feedbacks, maybe on like a Walmart card, but you're doing Amazon with him, you might not want to trust that person because if they're bad in one thing, they'll be bad with you. But use your own discretion. In this instance, you will be trading for one vanilla or an other sort of gift card that pays out, another sort of prepaid, MasterCard or Visa. So the same thing applies. If you go and check their negative feedback and they have one of those cards in their negative feedback section, don't do it. Tell them to cancel the trade, make up an excuse, and then block the person immediately when you are done. Number two, his blocks to trades done percentage, right? His blocks to trade done percentage. So if the person has a percentage of blocks to their trades, for example, if they've done 100 trades and they have 10 people who have blocked them, my rule of thumb is to not trade with that person. Again, I'll make up something, tell them I don't want to do this trade, tell them to cancel, and then I will block them. Again, you can use your own discretion. There might be a person who has thousands of trades and they might be at exactly 10% or even 12%, and I have still done trades with them because I've also checked their negative feedback and seen they've had no issues with the trade I'm doing with them. So the 10 or 12% might just be some angry people who they have blocked first or something like that, pissed them off, whatever the case may be. Number three, never trade with someone who has done less than 200 trades within a year time span. I like to make sure that the person I'm trading with has been actively trading. So if this person pops up out of the blue to do a $250 or $300 trade and they have traded only 60 trades in the 2 years they have been on Paxful, I will immediately tell them I am not ready to please stop it, and then I would block them because most of the time those are people that get on to try to get something out of it. And if you caught that, you would also check the first two things that I've said before, and you'll see with these sort of people, most of the time, they'll have some negative feedback or their blocks are far over. But even if they don't, the fact that they are there and have only done a small amount of trades and all the times they have been on one of these platforms, Noons or Paxful, then it's not a very good chance that they want to be here for the long haul. So chances of a chargeback are inevitable. Number four, they send the front of the card without asking. I like to ask for a cash receipt and the back of the card to check the CVV. These things usually line up with something on the receipt, and it makes me more comfortable to continue the trade. If this person has not sent those things and I've asked for them and they send me the front without asking, they're quickly trying to get the trade done when I tell them to please send and just give me a second while I check the card and make sure the amount's there, and they quickly hit paid. And usually they ask. I'll check the back and they'll quickly say, "Can I send the front?" And I might say, "Hold," and they do it anyways, then hit paid. Or there are people who start a trade with you and the card is not ready to be used, because everyone knows after you have purchased a card in the store, it takes about an hour for the funds to become available. So if I have noticed that on their cash receipt in the back and the cash receipt that they have bought it at some point less than an hour, maybe 10 minutes, I would tell them to please hold and give them the time that they should send the front, or I would simply just tell them that the card is not ready to use. If they give me any hassle and say, "Can I just send the front and you just do it when it hits there?" I would say no, because chances are they want to they've already used the card and don't really care if you have the front, or usually they would send the front, hit paid, which at that point in time, my clock is ticking in order to release the funds. And that is no good because that affects my timing on my trades. It would show that I'm not doing my trades under a minute or at a minute, which is what I want to keep it at in order to get more of them from potential other people who want to trade. Moving on. Deal with the chargebacks. Usually within the time of trading on Paxful, you might have a company app or PayPal, Stripe. That's the reason why we're doing this video. I hate them both. I don't use them. And they will send you an email alert about some suspicious activities or chargeback on your account. They will release the information to you, such as some of the information might have a card that has some last digits of the card along with the amount. Number one, a chargeback is a warning sign of looming shutdown to your payout strategy, such as your Amazon account being shut down, or your PayPal or your Stripe being shut down. Number two, understand that this person will do this again. So, since this person will do this again, here are the appropriate actions you must take. Number one, find the person you traded that card with, right? Show them proof of the chargeback or alert. And usually I show it to them and that's enough. They would go ahead and spill the beans themselves, like, "Oh man, it's just the person I'm getting it from." Now, the reason why I say try to handle it with that person is because the last slides that I showed you before, these are people that have traded over 200 times. They're professional. If I've already traded with them, especially if I've traded with them over 2 times, I usually try to give them a chance to make things right. So I ask them how they plan on making this right if they've shown some sort of remorse. Now, here's the thing: if they do not make it right, block them and get a moderator involved or report them and just let them know that this person is fraudulent. The information is already within the trade itself that you reached out to this person on. And many times I've had it happen where the moderators just take some of the Bitcoin from that person and give it to me to make up for them screwing me over, of course. But if they work with you, great, it's awesome. Sometimes I've had people say, "Hey, that's the amount that was so-called charged back to you. Well, do you mind if we open a trade and I'll just give you the card?" And that's that. Or, "Hey, I have a $300 card. Let's do a $100 trade." But, you guys get it. You'll figure it out. Let's move on. Keep your chargebacks low. Even the best store you manage, right? And I've managed a few. Even if it's a legit store, it will have some returns involved, right? Or refunds. And I say legit because I know why you guys are using Stripe or PayPal. I mean, why else, right? It is your job to sell legit products that customers have ordered from you. So the good companies boast a refund to sale rate of about 7 to 10%. That means if they've sold $1,000 worth of products, it should be very low as far as chargeback goes. maybe 70 to $100 or something like that off of the 1,000 in sales they have. So if you want to keep any account that helps pay out for Paxful, and you guys know what I'm meaning, especially those who are using PayPal and Stripe, which I hate, that rate must be between 1 or 1.5. So how do you do this? Let's keep going. You're going to do some refunds. So try this. Open up a trade for yourself that is very meaningless to you. If you have $10 to lose, open a trade at a very low rate for you. Think debit card at a 2% rate to you. So the job is to get the trade done. Doesn't matter. The reason why I say a debit card trade, especially if you're doing like a whatever it is, paying Bitcoin for that, try to get it at the best rate for them, not for you, in order to quickly get the trade. Now, the reason why I say debit card, and I never take debit cards in any of my trades, I usually try to make them do cash receipts and all of that, is because 9 times out of 10, these people will charge back. However, in this instance, it's a win-win to you, because if you do a $10 trade, sometimes the people just don't care so much that they let it go, but you don't want to take that chance. $10 to lose from you is a lot better to keep your account safe. I would spend $10 a day, $20 a day. If I'm trading, up to $5,000, $8,000 a day, making $2,000, whatever it is a day, I have no issue spending 50 or even 25 bucks to keep my account safe by doing some refunds. That way, all of the things added up to keep you safe. You have the refunds going, you're keeping the chargebacks low. People are going to see you're an actual legit company. Any actual or legit company have people who are returning customers. They have also have people who do chargebacks, and they do have people that do refunds, which means you have a bigger team than just some random guy sitting in Europe, a random guy sitting in Milwaukee out here in the States, or some random guy sitting in Nigeria pretending to have their store. These people are not dumb. Let's move on. Recovering frozen funds. If you at some point after doing all of these things and you get the dreaded email that calls for some sort of verification on some cards that have been ran by you, make sure to have a few things ready ahead of time, such as 1. Make a receipt with a breakdown of what was given. Number 2, generate a confirmation email. Let's look at the example, right? So they usually ask you for an itemized receipt. First, create a confirmation email with an itemized listing of what they received. Could be in a downloadable PDF, that's fine. Things to say in the email. I have received no such email from the individual stating they did not receive their item or that their funds were taken. If you see the receipt attached, you will see all of this individual's information. And once again, you will make sure you have a name, zip code, last digits of the card being used, the amount, what they ordered on that receipt. It's simple to make one of those. And I would say I would be happy to supply the item or to refund this customer if it is within the 30 days of the purchased good. Now at the bottom of that receipt, make sure you say all refunds can be processed within the 30 days with no charge to you. That's what I like to say. And then I would also put, please see the bottom of receipt for return information, which again, I've put on there. So I give them that. Here is their information. I give this to the people and say, here is their confirmation email along with a thank you confirmation and receipt. And I would make both of those and have it ready to go. And that's all you need to say to any risk department. Different ways to contact me. Email, Paxfultradingtips@gmail.com. Discord, Landry SR. The interesting thing about that is I don't think they are doing this 7248 thing anymore. I saw that they updated it. So if you're looking for me, try that one. If it doesn't work, just go ahead. Paxfultradingtips@gmail.com. And again, on the next video, I'll make sure this is fixed. So anyways, YouTube comments. Guys, I rarely check these, but please do leave comments. It helps me to know what subjects you guys are interested in. For more info on services available, visit the website. Also, everything is in the description. Guys, I hate to say it, but I gotta say it. Like and subscribe to my channel to receive updates on new videos like this one. I know you guys are watching. Don't be a ninja watcher. Make sure you like and subscribe. Thank you guys, and I will see you on the next video.